Hello YouTubies, this is King Scribe and thank you for watching this YouTube video. Just let me slurp some white wine. Absolutely delicious. Right, so I want to wish you all a happy new year because it's 2016 now, and I hope you've all had a Merry Christmas. I want to talk about Fourth Impact because there's something I forgot to mention last year, and it's been slamming me in the head for ages because I didn't actually say it. If Fourth Impact had made a single during the Christmas season and the people from Asia had supported the band within the UK, let's say they released it on some type of website that was in Britain, then I see no reason why that group couldn't have had a #1 in the UK at Christmas time and New Year, because of the amount of supporters in these countries. Now this is a little bit complicated because they don't need to do well in the UK, so to speak. It'd be nice if they did, but it's very difficult when they don't have the home vote in the UK, because this is what I talked about previously in several videos. It's very difficult for these foreign people to come into a different country and to take part in this competition, because they're singing in a different language too, which makes it more complicated, and they don't have that voting system going for them. I always thought that the Fourth Impact should have had some type of statistics worked out for them and that added in as an additional bonus because they didn't have the home vote. And basically what home vote is you'll be from a certain town with 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people, and maybe 30,000 people would vote for you on average with all the contestants. Take that in consideration, take the average of all the contestants and say, yep, that's what we've got here. Add that onto their statistics, and would they have left before Che Chesterman or Reggae Group? I doubt it. I think they would have been in the final. So in that circumstances, they were sort of badly represented in the UK. So that's what I said previously in the video. But here's another thing, and it's controversial because, you know, I think they should do well in their own country. I do believe that the people who represent them should be from the Philippines, yeah, and the British should be forced to buy their records from the Philippines. I think that would actually be, or Asia somewhere. I think that would be more appropriate because that's where they're from. You know, I don't really like people from the UK getting rich from talent from a different country. I think the money should be sent over there because their record should be sold from there. But they did get famous in this country because of X Factor, of course. And yeah, I'm just thinking about, you know, if they had released an album in the UK, let's say a single, and they released it before the Christmas period, so let's say the 21st of December 2015, and everybody they came onto a website, let's say, I'm not sure what they're called, like iTunes or something like that, and they uploaded it to iTunes, and then you can guarantee that a lot of Filipino people, a lot of people from Asia and the countries they have been represented in would buy those singles, and they would smash anybody else in the UK singles. So that would have forced them to become #1 in the UK. But it's controversial because it would mean that money would be coming out of these countries going into a different country to support talent. It's not really supporting talent, it's just selling records, and I'm not sure how much actually goes to these people, but they have been promoted in the UK, and I think there are a lot of fans in the UK of this group. It's just really difficult to actually manage because they've got so many fans, much more fans in Asia than they do in the UK. But then again, their records should be sold in all countries, yeah? They should do translations. I mean, obviously they can sing in English, so they should have translations into English as well as into the Filipino dialect, which is, what is it, Tagalog or something like that. That's what somebody told me. So it should be sung in Tagalog. I hope I'm getting that word right. Yeah, so I do believe that if they released a single, they would have been #1 in the UK, just based on the fact that there would have been so much interest in these other countries to actually support them. And I think as well in the UK, people seem to forget this. They assumed that because nobody was voting, I mean, there'll be some idiots in the UK that just won't vote because they're from a different country. But I'm also assuming that there'll be people who may have supported the winner, but they may have also supported Fourth Impact. They may have been the second choice. Yeah. So if she disappeared, they would have been voting for Fourth Impact. And that's true with Chase Chesterman. When Chase Chesterman disappeared, a lot of their fans wanted Fourth Impact, but Fourth Impact were already gone. So they supported Reggae Group. Yeah. So it gets very, very complicated, the voting system. It really does. And you can never really be sure exactly what's happening there. I just think, if they really were supported properly and they had the statistics taken in consideration, they would have blasted through the voting system. But it was very unfair. And people might say, oh no, it wasn't. It was unfair because they didn't have a home vote. Yeah, because they weren't from the UK. They should have had a estimation made on what it would have been for especially during the semi-final. Yeah, there should have been an estimation to make it fair of all the contestants, divide it by 4 or divided by 3 who had the home vote, and then give them that on top of it. And I think they could have actually been a winner if that happened. Who knows? We don't know what happened if they had the home votes. So that's one thing to take into consideration. So what can be done here? I mean, they don't have anything to worry about really when you think about it. I mean, let's put it this way: they don't need Simon Cowell. They really don't. I mean, people think they do. No, they don't. They're big enough without him. They came to the UK as a way of testing themselves, basically, and maybe promoting themselves in more European countries, which is a good thing. But as in needing it to get famous, which some people in the UK think they were doing, no, they didn't need that. They already had fame from Asia. They already had this fame all the time anyway. They just came into the UK for a bit of fun, for a bit of a laugh, and to promote themselves, because they didn't have a fan base in the UK, of course, and that would have been a good idea. So, yeah, I mean, I think they could have done really well if they released a single, yeah, and it was, supported properly. I'm not sure exactly what they're actually planning to do now. I mean, I've got a few Filipino friends, and they said that they've gone back to the Philippines, but I think they're working very hard at the moment on something bigger. And I think we will see them in the UK in due time. I mean, I'm speaking from the UK here, and I'm hoping to see them, which is why I've made a few videos on it, because I'm just worried that they're going to disappear into a different country and we're never going to hear about them again. If they ever see a video like this, just remember the fans in the UK and, make a few videos, not videos, what is it? Music videos for us guys and gals, so we can actually listen to that awesome stuff too. Yeah, because there's fans in the UK as well. It's not just in Asia. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about Asia a lot because that's where most of the fan base is. But I think they may assume that there's no fan base in the UK, and there really is a fan base in the UK. It's just that the concentration on the winner in the UK, which is a little bit unfair on them. I mean, they were better than most of the other contestants anyway. Yeah, they had more spirit and more style than any of them. So that's why I think they should have done well in the UK. They're certainly better than Little Mix. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. See you later. Bye bye.